Good morning, everybody. Welcome to City Life. The sky is gorgeous. It's pink and blue.
You're gorgeous this morning. Happy birthday, Linda.
Oh, that was...
I know it was Saturday, but I didn't
Thank
see you until today, so happy birthday.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Linda Bown. I'm your host. I have Mayor and Councilor Rita Mercier, my dear old friend.
Yep.
So we're here. You stuck with us this morning. Then Paul Ratha Yem is going to join us.
Paul Ratha Yem, I love him. He's such a good guy. Yes, he is.
So
quite a gentleman.
He
quite
is.
A gentleman.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's like
classy.
old school.
Him and his wife. Beautiful couple. Yes.
So tell me, your party was fabulous.
Thank you very much. I hope people ate and had a lot of food. We try
As
to
always,
feed you. Tickets
you
are $10, but we want you to eat. We give you your money's worth.
I know. Yeah, I think it might have been, I don't know if it's the first Fry's been to, but he enjoyed it. He had a very good time.
Yes.
And seeing
Thank you for
everybody.
being there. Thank you for being there.
And seeing people. I saw Eric and Dan and all of them. It was
Yeah.
Good. You had a very good crowd.
Well,
At the bunting, and it was a tough night because it was Good Friday.
It was Good Friday, a very tough night.
And
people said, why did you have it on this day? It's the only kind of day I could have had that was available to have
Well,
it.
that's just it. And you plan these things so far in advance that you don't even think about.
I did not think about it, Good Friday.
So it was, did you have a good Easter?
I did. Yes, I did. I didn't see the Easter Bunny, but I did have a good Easter.
Oh, I think I was the Easter Bunny, Var and I. 168 eggs.
Wow.
And there are 4 kids involved, so I had to come up with a system. You can't buy bags of eggs that only have 4 colors. So I had to come up with a system so that, like, Donovan's eggs had at least one side that was green, and Olivia, one side had to be yellow, and I think Autumn was pink, and Mason was purple.
That's right.
Because
Beautiful.
the year
you
before.
mixed red and blue together and you got purple.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well,
so creative,
Oh,
Linda.
yeah, I was very creative. But the year before, the older kids got all the eggs and the little kids got.
Oh.
So it was a bit. They were still talking about it. So my son, I don't know what to do about it. I said, I got this covered. So we did all the eggs, and then, of course, Saturday night was my birthday. So we went. We had to be up there later, to do the eggs outside, and so we went to the Thirsty Moose up in Merrimack.
Oh, the Thirsty Moose.
It was so much fun.
Oh, that's
We had
nice.
a fun night. We had a great waitress, and that just had a burger, but it was It was great. It was great.
Good.
So it was a fun night. We laughed, and Dorian didn't know what to do with us. He's got to lighten up. This generation, they got to lighten up. Do you find that with I just so uptight about this stuff.
I will say that I was with my great-granddaughters, my 2 great-granddaughters,
Yes.
and Chrissy, my daughter's Chrissy's grandchildren, and her son Kyle made us breakfast the day after Easter, so that was pretty nice.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
He can cook. For a guy, he can cook. I couldn't believe it. It was wonderful. We had a nice time.
Did you cook Easter?
I did not. I went over to Chrissy's.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Chrissy.
Yeah, she's a good kid.
She is.
She works very hard. And I'm very grateful for her and her girlfriend, Chris Pear, because I went over to the Bunting Club to set up the place, to put tablecloths on the tables. There were no tables. The place was completely empty. We had to put all the tables, roll them out. They weighed a ton. And then they're setting them up together, You couldn't do it alone.
Yeah.
The screws are coming out of the legs are falling apart, they're bending over. It was a nightmare.
If you don't know how to deal with the sportsman's club, I always make sure the guys.
It was tough.
So,
But anyway, what are you going to do?
yeah, you got it done. I wouldn't have known that. Everything looked beautiful.
I thought we could get in at 9. They said, no, you can get in at 11. 11 came. They said, no, we went down there. No, you can come in at 12. So it was a limited time. So, oh my goodness. But anyway, we made it. We made it. Every obstacle that we could face was there. But it ended up very well, and I'm grateful to everybody that showed up, and that was really nice of them, yeah. A lot of people told me they were sorry they couldn't make it because it's Easter Sunday,
Good Friday.
Good Friday, and I said, I understand. I didn't even realize it, but I
No,
was happy.
when you're planning things like that,
Yeah.
you sort of lose track of what you're doing there.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was a big success. and-
Yes, thank you so much. I usually have two parties, one in the spring and one in the fall.
Yep.
And my two places that I usually go to are non-existent now.
I know
so,
the East End Club.
And the VFW on
VFW.
Plain Street, so I have to find other places, so that's
Yeah.
what happens.
Things are changing, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
Many people running. Have you heard?
It's very quiet. We only have one competitor for at-large. We have the three that are running for reelection, myself, Vesna Noon, and Eric Gittia. But then we have Sisto. Sisto is, he's a person that works at Enterprise Bank. He's running against us. But you got to remember, you need double plus one. So if there's 3 seats available at large, you need double, which is 6. You need 7 people to have a primary, and you eliminate 1. But we only have 4 right now, so
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I think there's going to be more action on the school committee this year. It seems to be a few running on school committee.
Yeah,
I've seen.
at large.
Yeah.
Danielle McFadden, she's running
Yeah.
at large. And the 2 people that hold the seat is Connie Martin and Jackie Doherty. I think there's only 2 seats available
Right.
at large, and she's running against them. She's
Yeah.
very popular, too.
Yeah. Yes.
She had
Yeah.
a
And she's
very
young.
nice
You know,
party,
that's a
yeah.
tough. Yeah. I
And I got a kick out of her party that she had. She had it at the Long Meadow. Mount Pleasant in the Highlands. And every table, the centerpiece was a stack of books with pencils on it. That was
Oh, how
a cute idea. Very, very creative. Yeah, I thought that was pretty sharp.
Well, the school systems, I mean, the scores, everything is, they're going to have to do something, some realigning.
Yeah.
Because the kids can't read and they can't do the basics.
What bothers me all these years is the fact that people don't know cursive anymore. They don't learn that.
Yeah.
I guess with the computer, when you type, it just prints. It's not writing, it's printing, so that they teach you how to print, and that's it. How do you even sign your name? I thought you signed your name on a check. I didn't think you printed it, but anyway.
Well, my granddaughter, Olson is the superintendent up in Merrimack.
Yeah.
Where she is. And she is learning cursive, and so I'm sort of a sticker on it. So when she writes anything, I make sure she doesn't print anymore, that she writes in cursive. Because they can't even read it. I mean, you need to understand cursive.
They
There's some
can't read
basics.
it.
But our scores and everything, our ratings of how they can read and just basics has dropped throughout the country.
Yeah, it
So,
seems that way.
Nobody stays back.
Well, that's the issue. And I think the teachers are complaining about it as well. I
When
mean,
you go from the 4th to the 5th and you can't read, they're never going to teach you.
you're doomed.
Wow, that's tough.
And
I
nobody stays back.
no.
Gee.
I remember in Tingsboro going through the Winslow, and that was archaic back then. I mean, we were all in one school. We used to have 3rd and 4th grade together because of space. That would never happen now, I don't think. And half days as well. But they just drilled it into my head. If you can read, you can do anything, and it's so true. They can't read how to put things together, or so.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. So I'm hoping some young people that have children. It's time for the next generation to step up.
Yep, it is.
It's sort of tedious. I was going to talk about the elderly a little bit. I know the elections.
I know about
But the
elderly.
senior, yeah, we both know. We've been together a long time. It's the elections at the senior center, right?
Oh, today's the elections for the Board of Directors for the Friends of the Council on Aging. McD is running again, so,
Where are you running to?
yes, I'm running as well for the presidency.
What do you run? Oh,
Yeah. I guess it's,
Rita,
what is it? Is it?
what's the big secret? I couldn't even find out who was on the ballot. It's like a big secret. What's with all the secrecy?
I guess everybody's running again, so.
But
does-
no,
Who is everybody?
When I asked, there was no answer.
Well, it's going to be posted as you walk in. There's a bulletin
I know,
board.
but
There's
what's the big
It's
secret?
posted right there.
What's the big secret?
I don't know if it's a big secret. Why would it be a big
That
secret?
was my question, but you know what? It's all right. It's not a big bubble in my bathtub.
You're a director. Are you running as a director? We
Yeah,
have like,
I
what do we
think so.
have,
Well,
like
I
5
sat down-
directors?
I sat down with Jacqueline and filled out the form and
Oh, yes.
did whatever I have to do, and I'm running for something.
Good thing I brought it up because that was the last day that you could sign up to be on the ballot.
And she wasn't going to tell anybody.
Well, I was, but I told people, didn't I?
Piece of work, I'll tell you. Unbelievable.
So who votes in all them, anybody that's a,
Anybody that's a paid member, but, they have the right
We
to
have,
vote.
this is.
You don't have to
friends
be
of
a
the council are like,
senior.
We have $165,000 that we don't know what to do with, and we still are trying to raise more money.
Well, we're holding it for a rainy day. There's nothing that they need that we don't buy them. We buy whatever they need in the budget.
I know,
would
we
not-
have $165,000, and we still have poor Richard Demers trying to raise more money.
Yes, and someone at the city council meeting last night, Lynn Daly said to me,
I like Lynn, she's
I
nice.
want you to have another senior subcommittee at the senior center because I think I have an idea for a fundraiser. I said, and what would that be, Lynn? And she said, why don't we compile a cookbook and sell it to make.
That's a good idea.
And that's a very good idea. See,
all those old recipes,
Yep.
they're standard.
Rita, we have $165,000.
Oh, but John.
And
Why don't
we
we
want
print
more.
the cookbook and give it to people?
no.
We have $165,000. Give it to
It's a
people.
good thing to, and you'd be able to sell it like at the folk
Yes,
festival and
me.
stuff.
Give it away. I know what you're saying, but gee, we need to, what if something big breaks and we have to pay for it?
We'll still
We
have,
bought
we'll still have
ovens.
150 grand left, even if you blew 15 on this cookbook.
Oh, my God. We do so much there. Don't we spend a lot of money buying things for whatever they need?
This is a conversation for another day. I'm just saying, we have way too much money at the Friends.
Well,
And we should
That's
blow it on-
right,
we should
and that's the way it should
blow it on
be.
something.
Well, I
Okay,
don't know.
well, the
what.
elections today,
Yes, from 9 to 1. Anybody that's a signed
You gotta
up
be
member.
a paid-up member. If you're not paid up, you're not gonna be able to vote.
Right.
It'll be,
And you
you'll
don't
be
have to be,
red-faced
you
going
don't
down
have to
those
be
stairs.
a senior citizen either. You
how
could-
much is membership?
$5.
Did you join today? And
Oh,
then
you can't join. You had to
If
have
you
join
can-
before your birthday or something, because.
No, you have to join before November of, you have to have signed up by November of last year, which would make it this year. You can sign up now, but it would be for 2026.
And how old do you have to be to sign up? to the council?
60. Wait a minute. 60 to join the senior center, you don't have to pay. But for us, there's no age limit because
Well,
we're not a senior center. We're a group. We're the friends of the seniors, so
Okay,
we don't
well,
have to
one
be
thing
seniors
about
ourselves.
The
Yes.
Jacopis run it pretty much,
Yeah.
and they do the same thing. They raise a ton of money.
Yes.
And they have done so much for the council on aging.
Yeah. Once, every so often, we give director petty cash, $500 to buy whatever she needs at Market Basket or across the street or whatever, supplies of some sort. We give her whatever.
Well, you serve meals every day, don't you?
Yeah, and that not everybody can pay it, so.
Well, absolutely. I mean,
So we help them as much as we can.
Today's stuffed cabbage.
Today is stuffed cabbage. Oh, we have Joe Wilkins. He's the chef there. He does a tremendous, tremendous job. He's originally from the East End Club.
Oh,
He
sure.
works there now for a long time, and he does a tremendous job.
Are they ever rebuilding the East End Club? No.
Yes, they're rebuilding it behind there on West Fifth. You know how the East End Club is on West Fourth?
Yeah.
They're building it on West Fifth, on the same property behind, but it's the next street.
Will there be better parking? Yes, no.
Well,
It was tough. It was,
yeah.
Well, in law, we don't need parking. Did you get that message? No, you don't need to park.
What a wise guy. Is he a wise guy?
You poor thing, you came in this morning, John and I are really fit for beer, we're all
Oh,
set.
wow.
We don't need parking. Parking? We don't need parking at Lowell.
You know what
We're
gets
gonna
me
let you-
crazy? This was a discussion at the city council meeting last night. ADUs. We, as a council, didn't want ADUs, so we voted to support
doing
not
it.
having them. The state turns around and says, oh, we're going to blanket the state and everybody's going to have ADUs and blah, blah, blah. That's not what we voted for, but the state dictated and made us do it. Now we get the MBTA zone, which is the zone down on the corner of the connector down there. They want to put
Heinz's.
32 Heinz's.
Where was Tara Hung last night? Where was he?
There it is, but.
Buck.
No, we'll talk about that, but here's the thing. We voted, the whole council voted yes for MBTA zone, not because we wanted to, it said right in the paper. There's no choice, you have to support
Or
it.
they'll cut you all your funding.
Absolutely, that's why we
You could
did
have
it.
voted present.
That's why everybody did it.
That's wrong. Why are they giving us a chance if they're gonna tell
Oh,
us?
yes, where was the delegation last night?
Yeah, I know, I'm,
No one's taking the governor on.
well, with.
She's dictating, well, look what they did with this.
You take the governor, your sister's not gonna get a job. There's
Well, I don't
payback.
have a sister, so I
No,
really
but the
don't.
conference
Your
center,
son's
they-
not gonna get a job. There's payback. You go against the governor, there's payback. Your cousin's not gonna get a
well,
job.
I don't think she's looking so special right now.
Don't say that we have a choice, and then when we vote the way that we feel is the right way, they turn around and say, no, that's wrong, you're gonna do it.
The governor comes to Lowell, goes to the South Common, they kicked all the homeless off the South
That's
Common.
right,
Just
absolutely
because she's-
true.
And nobody, including the lovely Lowell son, had the guts to ask her a question.
When Charlie
Governor-
Baker came to the
I'm talking about-
Thorndike Street,
I'm talking about the chick right now, the gal, whatever her name is there right now.
oh, well, they did the same thing when Charlie Baker came to the Thorndike factory outlet that became Sal Lepoli's, and they cleaned out and wiped out all the homeless so that the governor wouldn't see it. I said, why didn't they just leave the governor, let the governor see what we have to see every day? Maybe he'll help us. But they didn't. What are you gonna do? Anyway.
Well, now fortunately, Colin,
Your manager.
our town manager, Colin Wiesel, who will be on in a couple of weeks, in fact, he went to Old Catholic, I think. Yeah, he went to Old Catholic. Cute little guy. But anyway, he was very good in advising, and we had to designate areas. Now, I understand how you had no choice because the train station's right there. But we have no public transportation anyway because the MBTA or LRTA sends a bus up Middlesex Road to the mall. I bet I assume they should send more. Here's a clue to the LRTA to the casino up there.
Nash, have you seen it? You have? No.
No, I haven't. You can't get to it.
I'm going to dinner there tonight.
Are you?
you?
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me about how it is.
Well, I'm hoping that we're going to dinner at 6 o'clock, and Ellen and I already went up there. Ellen loves to gamble. I'm a sore loser. And
Yeah, I'm afraid to.
she loves to gamble, so she says a little too close, I think. But she'll go up there with her sister, Peachy. And check it out.
Everybody, in fact, I had a guy in Walgreens yesterday that worked there. He says he said that last Saturday, they had a $50,000 winner at the,
Oh,
Beautiful.
gee.
yeah. At one
I
of the
would have been a
tables.
$50,000 loser. That's why I
They've
don't
had- well,
gamble.
I worked too hard for my money. But
Beverly's watching this morning.
Beverly
Good morning,
Anthes?
Beverly. Beverly likes to gamble.
Beverly. Oh, you know
Her
what?
name just popped up over here. Good morning, Beverly.
When we talk about Beverly and we think about April, I don't know why I can't get it out of my head, but I think George Anthes' birthday was April 4th.
It was.
I
Same as
never-
Eric Gitchia.
I never, ever forget that. I don't know why it sticks in my head.
And he passed away on the 7th.
Well, Beverly comes up like once a month for dinner, so I get
Yeah.
to sit with her once.
Well, we're going to see her next weekend.
Oh,
Because there's the gala, the brush gala. Are you going to that?
Gala.
I
You're
don't
going?
know.
I don't know.
Oh, you gotta go. It'll be fun. Anyway, Vi has some paintings in the Whistler House now.
VAR is excellent with that, yes. Very creative.
Oh, and speaking of the artists, the All Gallery, which is 307 Market. Look at Sean laughing. 307
I'm
Market
just laughing
Street.
at the, I'm gonna show you this. Honest to God.
They're having a sculpture.
We're gonna send the
exhibit.
homeless to their, Rita, we got a new address we're gonna send the homeless.
Lowell sweeps homeless camp by Merrimack River.
But look at the signs, no more sweeps. We'll send them to your house.
Is that a pit bull?
I don't know.
Oh,
But
my
this is-
goodness.
Well, look at the front page of today's Lowell Sun, so.
Wow.
I get the electronic version, but I saw this and I gotta
nice.
laugh. These people,
Oh, Sweeps Homeless Camp.
how would you, well, I bet you they both drove there.
Well, listen,
That
That
bet-
pro- whose
they
truck
both-
is that?
no, that's a city. There's
Oh.
a cop back there, I
They both
think.
live in a building too.
Well, they don't look like they're starving, I have to say. I'm sorry.
Well, yesterday, I don't know who did, but it was an
That dog is
organization.
eating good. He looks pretty
Ooh,
fat.
They cleaned up the homeless along the Merrimack. They're gone. Bye-bye.
well, we've had a few in Tingsboro, but not many.
Well, then, I'll show you, Bobby Holy was out with his camera, and so he discovered that they were cleaning up by the Merrimack. And he thinks it was the city people, but nobody would say who they were or what they were, so that's okay. They cleaned up, and then he goes into Chesford, and Chesford has a homeless camp behind Walmart, so.
Ooh,
Oh, they do. That's been there a long, many years.
really?
Sure. Yep. That's pretty
So I think he wants me to
popular.
run that when Evelyn Thorin's here.
But that would be Chelmsford, so
Yeah.
that's...
Well, we don't seem to. I went up the river
They might be on their way if they get kicked out of Chelmsford.
a few days ago on a boat to check some things out in Tingsboro along the riverbank.
You know, it's so sad, speaking about riverbanks, that autistic little children, 4 years old,
Oh, God bless
down
them.
by the
God bless the
river,
family.
and I didn't know there was a park behind the Songus Arena, but the little boy went in. That's a very bad spot near the water because
Yeah.
that current is horrendous.
Oh,
over
right
there.
now it is.
So sad. I don't know what it is with autistic children. It's like a magnet. They go right down to the water and drown. It's so sad. It's like the fourth child that I heard about doing that in the city of Lowell. I don't know.
Yes, I know.
They're so
Last year
attracted to it,
it
isn't
was
it?
the same thing.
Yeah, in the neighborhood where I was, where I am, they had an autistic child. They found that little boy in the river. It's like
God
they're
bless them.
attracted to water, and so it's
Yeah.
so scary. I
Well,
feel
the
so
river right
bad.
now is not a good. In fact, don't you have? What month are we in? Don't you have the rapids on the Concord River?
Yep.
That's a big thing.
I was
It's-
on
it's
the
one-
rapids and the
Did you
Concord
do that?
River.
They say
I
that.
did
I mean,
They didn't do it this year.
they didn't do it.
No, but I did it 1 year before it was popular. Douglas said to me, my friend and I, we want you to come down with us. We're going on the rapids. I said, oh, and where will that be? He said, right on Lawrence Street. I said, really? So I went to take my sneakers off. He said, you don't need your sneakers off. You're going to hang your leg over in the water, and you need your sneakers on because there's rocks there. I said, I thought I'm sitting in a boat. He said, no, you're sitting on a float that's a rapid rubber raft, and you're sitting on the side of it. I said, wow, that's amazing. Then I looked at the rapids and I said, gee, you know what, Doug, forget it. He said, no, you're going. It was
Did you do it?
frightening. Yes, I did it. I
had them on. I think I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I was fascinated, and it's one of the most well-known rapid, whatever they call it, rapid runs.
Yeah, and you know where we ended up? We ended up down behind Saints Memorial
Yes,
Hospital.
yes.
That's exactly where we ended up. I said, Dougie said, I said, we're going over the falls. He says, it's all right. This is the worst one. So he says, just brace yourself. This is the worst one. There's 3, but this is the worst one. So we get over it. And I said, well, that's not too bad. He said, you know, when I told you it was the worst one, the worst one is the third one. This was the easy one. I said, get me off of this. He said, too late, I can't do it. Oh, he's a nut.
Yeah.
There he is.
He got me on there.
I can't believe you did that.
I got
I'm glad he went to Dubai with you guys.
Well, he invited me to go because he didn't want to be on the plane all that length of time. He's not one to sit still, so he said the furthest I can go is to Aruba, and that's as far as I could go. I never went 12 hours down, 14 hours back, so he said, could you please come with me, because I don't know if I can make it. He did very fine, he did fine, but I got to tell you this, God forgive me telling you these stories about my family. I'm going outside yesterday, it's trash day, so it was just trash. But I had some recycling, and I was going to put it out in my recycling bin. So I went down the stairs, and this guy had a hoodie on, and he's walking like Dracula. It was
At
just,
your house?
yes, he's walking up the street. I said, oh my God, this guy looks frightening, because he looked like he was in a hurry, and he really looked mean, and I couldn't see his face, and I'm saying, why is he walking like this? And I put my trash in the recycling, and I turned around, and I said, thank God I'm right here, and he's not closer. I got up to the top of the stairs, I looked, and he's coming into my driveway, up my driveway. I ran right in the house, I double bolted the door, and I said, he's coming in my hallway, and he's banging on the door. I'm saying, what do you want? And I put the light on. Not that it was dark out, but I put the light on to let him know I saw him. I said, what do you want? He said, Rita. I said, oh, you dope. That was my son. He was doing the roof across the street. I said, oh, my God. He's frightened me so much.
So clearing out the homeless camps yesterday. The camp was cleared by contractors working for Keolis Community Services, which operates and maintains the MBTA commuter rail system.
Oh, I see.
Very
Thank you
interesting.
for the information, yes.
That was from Eric Gitchia.
Oh.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
What
Thank you
don't
for
Eric
watching.
know? What does Eric not know?
I know. How was your meeting last night?
It was a very good meeting. The manager is highlighting different departments. 3 weeks ago, he highlighted the water department and talked about the work that's going to be done primarily in the Centerville section of the city. It'll take 3 years. He had Aaron Fox, he had people from the water department, Steve from the water department, talk about all the things that are going to be done, and no doubt, if you want good, clean drinking water, you have to clean those 100-year-old pipes in the ground, and it's going to entail a lot of work, but it has to be done. You don't want to upset a neighborhood, but if you want proper water and sewerage or whatever you need, you have to have a little discomfort to make it better. So that was what he highlighted. Then last week, he highlighted the parks department and the different events that had taken place in the parks. And last night, he had Peter Fataconti, Recreation. He had him there talking about recreation and all the events. Please, if you have young children, even like 3 to 13 or 5 to 13, they have the age group, they have events for your children. Summer programs, go on the website and you will see all the beautiful things that are
What
available in the summer.
What website?
Yeah, okay, he's asking me the website.
Well, we're having
Saying go on the
City of Lowell website, the City of Lowell website, look under the Parks and Recreation, especially Recreation, and you'll see it.
Good, okay, thank you.
Now, I got to tell you what we also did discuss. We talked about, we had Lynn Daly and people that live in the particular Douglas Road area, and they talk about the water always backs up, and there's like a swimming pool in that neighborhood, Wentworth Avenue, all in that area there. Lo and behold, they're going to do something about it. They're going to...
Who's the they?
the city is going to do something. We hired a firm to come over to do resurfacing and repair and all that. In the Colley Stadium, they're going to put this big catch basin in the ground that will take the runoff, and it'll go in that system. It's going to start very soon. I get all this information over here because it's
So they're gonna be, the road's gonna be closed?
Yes. What it is the parking lot at Colley Stadium.
Yep.
It's all fenced in, that area on Douglas Road. You're gonna see that's where they're gonna put that catch basin in the ground, so all that runoff water doesn't
Are
congregate.
they gonna hot top the parking lot?
They're gonna put that parking lot back.
I should say, is the city gonna hot top the parking lot at Colley?
They're going to, after this is all done, and they're gonna put like little islands with trees and make it very
Well,
appealing.
it's got to
They're gonna
be-
make it beautiful, they
That-
will.
Very similar to what they're
Yeah.
doing with the stormwater, and I assume that's part of your stormwater program.
Yep.
And I assume they're gonna put some type of retention pond under, right? Under the parking lot?
Yes, it's gonna be wonderful. So,
Well, I
I
hope
know it's an inconvenience right now, but you're gonna see that it's.
Well, let me
beautiful.
ask you, if they're doing that, are they, on the runoff, and in that neighborhood, do they have a problem that the stormwater goes into the sewer line? Are they
Yeah, but
replacing the sewer lines?
Yeah, but there's little or no separation in the city.
Right,
Yeah, well,
I wondered if they're doing all this, are they doing that at the same time? Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah,
Well,
but
we
this is
don't,
Lowell, we don't do things that way.
but, yeah, they're gonna really do a great job when it gets done. But, instead of it gathering on the street and looking
Yeah.
like a swimming pool, it's
Man, you
gonna
need the microphone.
go,
Just-
it's gonna go down into that
What are we doing with
tank.
the, no,
She's not talking on the mic.
oh,
I'm not talking on the mic?
You were aside of the mic.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
see, we're
I can
not
tell
good.
with my earplug if I can hear you or I can't hear you.
Oh, I see.
You're good. Continue, please.
Well, I forgot my train of thought now. You can't do that to
I
old
do that to
people.
Howie all the time, sorry.
Oh, my God, that's
Wow,
all right.
Now, does he look at the camera, does he look at the TV?
Yes, he's the best one.
I'm the worst.
See, Linda, if you just looked at Rita on the TV set in front of you.
It's not the same.
Yes, it is. She's right aside of you.
No.
You know that. That's the audience out there.
Linda, I like what you're doing, it's okay.
Linda's best thing was I read this, and she's just read it to herself.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he says to me, "Oh, we got a post and a text. Read that." And I look at the screen and I read it to myself. He said, "To the people, read it
Oh, there you go.
out loud."
There you go. Oh, my
It's
God.
a show.
Oh well.
Oh, well, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
So we had a good time last night talking about different things. Anyway, so we had an overview of the parks and
I'm curious
recreation.
about that. You might want to ask about that because I know you're replacing in Lowell. You have a problem with your sewer lines and your stormwater.
Stormwater.
We're mostly ignoring this problem.
No, you're not.
No,
doing
no,
you're doing
no,
it for
wait a
neighborhoods.
minute.
I know you're doing
We
it.
can't
Doing
ig-
Centerville, aren't you?
We can't ignore the problem because if we don't do it in a timely manner, this federal government will fine us.
Well, Lori will help us. Lori will save us.
Yeah. No, they give you
Well,
no money. That
I
it's
can't
a
really
mandate.
I can't really blame her. It's an unfunded mandate. The federal government says there are 9 separate sources of separation, and you have to do each one.
Now, why were we doing this 2 years ago?
We were doing it
They
quite.
did. They
we
started in
did.
the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You can't do the whole city at
You
once.
can't do it at once. It's too expensive, and
They did Pawtuckaville, I think. I'm trying to think what
they have done maybe 4 or 5 separations already, but there's 9 altogether. From beginning to end, if we had done everything that they wanted to do, it would be like $400 million for the whole thing. And I say unfunded mandate, it's because they give us pittance, like they'll give us, I don't know, 20 million for a project that costs like 200 million, you know what I mean? It's
They
like,
didn't fund it at all. I know, because we're in the entire country is going through it, but in Massachusetts, every city and town, and some of the towns have really, we don't get the funds from the state and some of the cities do, and rightly so. I mean, you have other problems than we do. So we've had to be very creative.
Yep.
And we had to change all our plans. Any building that's built now, and of course the city the same way, you have to have a stormwater plan. Now, if you were going to tear down the funeral home and build something, you would have to go to conservation with the stormwater.
They don't want the rainwater to leave the property.
Well, no, they don't mind it. You're right. They don't want to leave the
'Cause
property.
we did that out in Tewksbury. We had
Yes, so you know what I'm talking about.
put a new parking lot in, and
Well,
the
sure,
town did
impervious.
this, that, and everything. And when it rains, the rain never leaves the property.
Yeah,
It goes into the ground.
That's
It's
why
amazing.
I'm curious what they're doing in the ground there, because, it's part of
Well-
the stormwater.
See, the way that the whole thing was designed in the very beginning was the storm drains washed the pipes out. So the conception, people didn't use water like we use water right now. The old-fashioned three-piece to a flush, that was in place before World War II. Three-piece to a flush, and that was just, you didn't use a lot of water. So the storm drains help move all the waste to the river. And they said, you gotta stop dumping that raw sewage in the river, you're gonna have to treat that. So we direct all the pipes to this place called Duck Island. We treat the water there, and then the government says, that's not good enough. You gotta separate the gutter water, which is the drain water, the street water, from house waste. And so that's what we're working on.
Well, Duck Island couldn't handle the flow. And you're absolutely right, and people, didn't take showers and every day, and,
We didn't have washing machines.
no.
Big difference after World War II.
So they have to put separate pipes in the city with the roads. Every city is having the same problem. But the feds came up with this, and I'm not saying it's not I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but they didn't fund it, and so it's an imposition. So it's kind of interesting to me that if they're doing this up with the stormwater, it would have been a good time, I think, to separate, but maybe they just couldn't. I think they're doing Centerville. Why do I think that?
Yeah, they're doing Centerville, yeah. The
With the
whole
pipes.
area, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yes, when Corey Robinson was on.
Yep.
And so Bridge Street is going to be probably a mess this summer, because they have to separate and dig up and all that piping is so old and.
Yes, it is.
But at the
yes.
end of the day, it's going to be a good result.
The
So
fish will be happy.
if I could go back to I found the paper. Now, Aaron Fox, he's the executive director of the wastewater, and the Colley Stadium area has already started in January of this year. If you went by, you'll see the chain link fence around it, so nobody gets to tamper with it or get hurt in there. But Waterline Construction, Inc., they were awarded the contract for $14.3 million. Things aren't cheap. It costs a heck of a lot of money. This should be fully constructed and operational by October of '26. So, and the final paving schedule will be the spring of '27. And when that gets done, from what I'm understanding, they're not just going to hot top the whole area. They're going to make it and reconfigure it so that you have trees and little islands, and it's going to be really appealing to the
This
eyes.
is Colley, right?
Yes.
And you
this is-
still have to monitor it. You have to
They-
make sure your system's working.
So for the
Right.
out-of-towners, so people in Tingsboro know what this is. It's up in Belvedere.
Yes,
It's where we
it's
play the football game every year. That's
There
what we
is a
call Colley.
portion of the
Right off
park.
38.
Yeah, it's on,
Just so you know where it is.
yeah. So let me just say that it's a flood relief tank, flooding in that area of Douglas and Wynwood Road in that area, because it's like a swimming pool in that area when it rains. This tank is a 1.8 million gallon storage tank, and Colley Stadium does have an area to park, not as big as the whole area, but It's taken up quite a bit of space, but there is still space to park at Collie. But this is what we're gonna do to alleviate that. And
That's good.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
good.
very good, and I thought I'd tell you that, so.
Well, and people don't realize, like, he talked about the funeral home out there in Tewksbury. Now, if you come in the towns, if you do any kind of renovations, you end up, and people don't understand, why do I have to go to conservation? I'm not near a river, I'm not near any wetlands, but it's because of the stormwater. And so everything, even houses, I mean, you don't have, obviously, the same requirements. But if you're putting a lot of pavement in driveways and impervious areas so that the water has to go somewhere. And it's very easy. You just put systems under what kind of system did you put out there?
The water doesn't leave the property. The sidewalk stops the water from draining out to the street. The sidewalk's a half an inch higher than the hot top.
Right, and they put a system.
So the hot top is porous.
Yeah.
So all the water just goes into the ground.
Yeah.
It's amazing how
It
well
is,
works.
and if you stop and think about it, it makes sense. But, people were building houses with 4-car garages, and you have to have a driveway to go with that. And so people just didn't, it wasn't a malicious thing. But then in their infinite wisdom, the Fed said, "Ooh, well, we'll fix this." But they don't give any money. It's like a lot of mandates you get, particularly in the city. It's hard. That they don't fund. So I can see.
When we can't hire a brother to do the job, it's difficult.
If you go to the Lowell Recreation website, you could sign up to get your child into the different activities that take place. They have, all sites are geared from 5 to 13-year-olds. The Merrimack Valley Food Bank serves food. Aramac is there. They serve breakfast in the summer. They served 3,537 breakfasts. Lunch, they serve 6,235. And the Merrimack Valley Food Bank served 731. It'll tell you
Now, where is this?
the locations for the participants at Shed Park, the Daily, Wang, Gage, and Maury. In the schools, they have food that they serve in the food, and it's hosts Youth Adventure Summer Program. This is children's 5 to 13, and they offer activities like kickball, dodgeball, tennis, arts and crafts, taekwondo, all kind of things for your child. The recreation department's staff brings lunches to McPherson's or O'Donnell's, so wherever you live, in what area, there's a place for your child to go near where you live.
That's excellent.
There's so much things
I'll
happening
go to
in
the
the
city's
city.
website in a second. I just want to get these two texts. Respectfully, anything the government is involved with is always expensive and
Yes,
run
you're
over
right.
budget. It's
Well-
going to look beautiful at Collie, but what is the future cost?
So you know what?
For maintenance every year.
These systems, as John just mentioned, the maintenance, there is a program, you want to
There's
make sure,
none.
but it isn't
The
a
maintenance,
cost
the water
issue.
goes into the ground. It's like when it rains on the grass, do you care? It's going to go into the ground. And now with
But if you pave the grass,
porous hot top lets the water go right into the ground. And the only problem that I wish was a little bit bigger was the snowfield. Because you got to push the snow someplace.
that's the other issue.
The
It's one of the
snowfield.
first things I look for when they come in with a new plan. Where are you putting the snow?
The argument is that how much snowfield, how much snowfield do you require in Tingsboro?
Well, it depends on how much area of pavement there is. But
Okay.
we have, as far as cubic feet and things
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
do, off the top of my head, I don't know.
And when you get a ton of snow, it's not enough.
Oh, I know. So the issue is when we have like a TJ Maxx where they're putting a whole new, they have to have a plan that they're going to be taking it away. That's what they do in Lowell. you have to take it away.
And where
So-
do you put it?
Well, once it leaves Tingsboro, I don't care.
Yeah, too much.
I'm gonna go find the city's website, and then we can find this recreation site.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's a lot to do for your children, and now you know the old adage that says the devil's,
Idle hand.
idle hands is the devil's workshop, so we try to keep your child occupied so that they're busy and they don't do anything bad, so we,
Well, it's good the kids are getting back outside again.
yeah, that'd be wonderful.
You know, it's,
I'm getting back outside too.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
well,
It's been a long winter when you're in the house the whole time.
it was so cold this winter. You know, I don't mind snow that much. In fact, I don't, it snows and you have your house that do you still plow?
I don't anymore, because I
You
don't
should
have
buy
the
your own
truck.
truck.
The truck fell apart, so I don't have it, but I
Oh.
wish it was still,
So
Yeah.
Rita, here's the
Functioning.
city's website, so we go to.
yeah,
first,
look at
we'll
departments
go to departments,
and look under parks, summer recreation, parks.
okay, I'm gonna have to come
Okay,
back to
Old
this.
Meadow,
I'm
parks.
gonna go get Paul in.
Boy, that sounds like we're
I'll be right
hunting
there,
moose. Did you hear
Paul's
this?
coming.
Yeah, Paul
That's
is
good.
wonderful. Let me get this out
Well,
of here.
in Lowell, as I started to say, the art gallery that I've become familiar
Oh,
with
yes,
on Market
yes.
Street.
Speaking about that, Linda, before I forget, and I don't mean to interrupt you, there is something tonight at 4:30 up at the fifth floor of the Jackson Street,
Yeah.
the
Western Avenue,
Jackson Street at the
Brush?
no, at the health department.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the Lowell health, the hospital there for the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what we call it
On
now.
Jackson Street.
Jackson Street,
Okay.
so on the fifth floor, they're having an art exhibit because Vanna Howard told me about it and she reminded me to go.
I'm
so-
curious because I was amazed when,
And it's on for a month, so.
oh, really?
But it's starting today.
When Vi had a painting at City Hall.
Lowell Community Health Center, the Lowell
Oh,
Community
okay.
Health Center, yeah.
Okay.
On the fifth floor. There's,
Because the senior center has art also.
yeah, they do, and
Yeah,
I
it's
have.
over 600 artists.
And I have Maxine Farkas. She's involved with that. She's in charge with that. She's a very good person.
Oh,
For the
good.
art, she really
Well, you're
knows.
having a sculpture, hello. You're having a sculpture show at the All Gallery Saturday.
yeah.
I think it's 10 to 4. Hello, come sit down. Or do you need to get coffee?
Yeah, you're coming right
Yeah,
here
come
there,
right
darling.
here. No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No dawdle.
Paul Ratha Yem.
You think you have to wait for
You don't have to
the
wait for him.
producer?
He just runs the place.
Just make
We-
sure that the
but we
mic
run
is
the
on.
show. Hi, baby.
I saw the car, I said, wow,
Oh, my.
I'm with two favorite people.
Oh, there you go. He's
Well,
my-
welcome.
one of my
Make sure your
favorite.
mic is on. Push.
Yep, that's good. Let it go. There it is.
We've been talking about art, and I know that you're particularly interested because I've always seen you at every art exhibit that's going on in Lowell. So
Right.
she was saying there's an art show at the health center.
Yeah, the Lowell Community Health Center on
Yes.
Jackson Street.
Yes,
You know
yes,
that, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Part of Berlin, what I mean, the Soul of Cambodia event that is taking place the whole month of April.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, so they will
Yeah,
have
and when does it start? Is it 4:30 or 5:30 today? I thought it was 5:30. Vanna told me 5:30, but yet Vesna said 4:30.
Yeah, Vesna said 4:30, but so I would go with that 4:30.
4:30.
You can get that 5, because people just start.
Sure,
meeting
sure.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah. So and then.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think that the art, on the All Gallery, now that borders, that building abuts Worthen Street. And
Ah,
I think they ought to do something on the wall there. I think a
Yeah,
mural would be
yeah,
nice.
The mural, they did one side, right?
Yes.
Except they used to have one, but then it got removed, over the new Munchkin donut.
Yeah, that's right.
It's vacant. It's empty right now. It used to have a mural, but they kind of cover it now. They have to put something new on that. Yeah.
Well, they have a mural there where the garden is.
Yes.
And they're going to have a
Yeah.
sculpture show there
Yeah.
Saturday.
I
Oh.
attended the event one year, and then they invite me to go, so I went, and
Oh, yeah,
very
you've been.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I
interesting.
think I was amazed, and you were at that event that in City Hall, that there's over 600 artists in Lowell.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. So
Yeah.
I hope they
And
start to
City
get more involved. Like I know that, but now you talk about the different events. How do you, now the senior center, that you have your elections today?
Yeah, we have a chop dinner tonight, hosted by CBA.
Oh,
Chop dinner is just like community kind of meals, and everybody get together, and then and CBA serve food, and volunteer bring food, and a chance to talk about services that provided by CBA. And then I know the planning department, Liz and her group will be there as well. Talked about various projects that happening in Lowell, and last night she was at the council meeting and gave us a rundown on all the hotspot calming measure to reduce.
She's a
the
traffic engineer.
oh,
Transportation
speed.
engineer.
She's an engineer. She's
Liz
excellent.
Altman.
Yeah,
Yes, she
Liz
is.
Altman.
And Paul, you need to be on the mic a little bit more.
A little bit more. I was trying to
Up,
cover
up.
because I tell Rita how I like her hair. So that's why I kind of pull it away.
Oh, my God.
because you talk very softly, so we have to, well, you're not like Rita and I
So
were.
we're gonna go to break in a couple
Like
of minutes. I wanted
banshees.
to get Rita to continue on this city's website, so we're gonna go to recreation.
Oh.
So where do we go?
We're going to the, well, let's see, where am I?
It must be Recreation
Yeah,
Department.
it's the Recreation Department, where the?
So do they have a search
You were
thing?
at that
The
website.
department?
We started that.
I'll go up here, search,
Yes, it's the Lowell Recreation website, so,
recreation.
yeah, Recreation.
Yeah.
It's the website.
Lowell Recreation Department. So you go into search, you write recreation in there, and then you you get this guy, Lowell Recreation Department, and then
And then you can register your children
The
for what
calendar.
'Cause now
activities
is
they
the time to
want.
start thinking
Yes.
about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. I also encourage family to reach out to the Lowell Police Department because they have the Lowell
Youth
Youth
Academy, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's really good here across the street.
Okay.
At the STEM Academy, I had an opportunity to attend the graduation, and they have the children grade from 5th grade to 8th grade, and enroll in leadership trainings, and they were like in a military training, you know.
Oh,
They
no
were
kidding.
They were so disciplined and really take responsibility and everything. So it's a beautiful service, and I encourage the youngsters both, to be the change among their peers because they learn a lot, in the leadership, responsibility, community, and
still need the mic.
yeah. Huh?
Lift it
Still
up
need the
higher.
mic. No, what's happening is he's off to the side.
Off to the
So if you're gonna be
side.
looking at Rita, you gotta move the mic.
I
He said
wanna.
the same thing to me, too, so.
Yeah. So
And I have
when
a
I
loud
speak, I want to
voice.
speak to Rita and,
Well, look at her on
and
the
Linda.
TV. Is
So
the TV set in front of you?
Huh?
Is the TV set in front of you?
yes.
Look at Rita on the TV set. And it works perfect.
Oh, my
Works-
God.
Teach you look at the microphone, works like a champ.
Well, if your host
The
did it, you
audience
would
hear you.
know to do it, but I don't
Yes,
do it.
I know. I understand. I
It's hard
understand.
to talk to a TV set,
Yeah.
to a screen.
You can do it.
I know,
So did you
I'm
find
learning.
do you find the recreation department, John?
I gave up.
You give up.
gave up.
Here's the trick. If you go to the council meeting agenda from last night,
Yeah.
there is a report, and then if you click on that, there's two reports. One is Liz Almond about the traffic calming measure, the other about the park department. So you went there, there's a link right there for that as
That's
well.
Well, I
it.
think
That makes
don't-
it easier.
Moving forward to the future, Paul, what you
Yes.
might consider is to tell the audience that you have at the city council meeting, if you want to find this on the city's website, go in the search thing
Yeah.
and put down Paul Ratha Yem or put down Rita, whatever, it'll give me a link that brings me right there.
Mm-hmm.
So consider doing that if you're going to put it on the website, because your website has a lot of good information. I
Right.
would say too much good information.
Right.
And it's difficult to find the diamond that you're looking for.
The
Yeah.
diamond in the rough.
So, but it's under agenda, your agenda last night?
Yeah, it's on what Rita had. Rita had
Looking at Linda on the TV set.
Rita has a packet that delivered to her, and I prefer electronic, so I don't have to carry like that. So Rita every week she carry like a really
A
like,
bag, yeah.
like an inch thick of paper, and so I just prefer I just have the city issue.
You simplify
laptop.
your life. I
Yeah.
don't.
So
I
the
like
question I have,
clutter.
like the question I have would be, what you do with the paper afterward, because it's a lot. You can cremate yourself. That's what I would say.
I recycle
Cremate
it.
yourself with that paper.
In conservation, we have this amazing secretary, Pam Berman, and she comes along and she picks up everything that we're not going to
To you.
reread or
Right,
use
right, yeah.
in the other
And
future
recycle.
meetings. Yes, she
Yeah.
does. So
Yep.
she's amazing. So anyway,
Well, I
hopefully
want to
you'll
see
find-
things in front of me.
Exactly. Some
That's-
people like that.
That's
There's
how I
nothing-
am.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what we're used to, Rita. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's
You want to be able to hold it and
It
look
works
at
for
it.
her and you work in a different method, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah, by the time I go to, plus I'm not that good with electronics. I'm just not, I haven't mastered it. IA is gone over my head. But I can look at, like a plan when I like
Yeah,
to,
but IA is going to be fantastic. Once you get IA on your phone,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to say, show me a map of Malden. And
Yeah.
bam, it'll just come up. You just tell your phone what to do.
yeah.
I'm
it's
getting a
coming.
new phone, believe it or not.
Okay.
Well, I've changed. Do you realize Verizon has gone sky high? I don't know how it is in Lowell, but in Tingsboro, I'm going to get my internet, my televisions, and two phones for less than I'm paying just for the TV and with Verizon.
So,
Wow.
from whom?
Comcast.
Okay. Comcast is having a sale.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Everybody has the
It's
same.
got to
Competition
be.
is good because in Lowell, we don't care. We're Comcast.
Yeah, you just
can't
have
get
Comcast.
anything else.
But I've been a loyal customer of Verizon.
I love Verizon.
And I didn't mind this. Well, the service has gotten a little.
Competition is good for Verizon.
Yeah, and I spoke to them and said, this is not working.
And they said, bye-bye.
Okay, it's wow. I couldn't believe the difference. VAR handled it. I said, oh.
So
Nice.
what I did, John, I went to the city
Check out
council
this
meeting.
guy's phone. Check out this guy's phone.
Yeah.
Look at this.
He's
Wow.
on all the modern
His is
technology.
it's like a.
It folds out.
Yeah, your phone.
He's
and-
got all kind of modern technology. You should go to his house and
Oh,
see his.
yeah, your washer and dryer.
Washer
is
and
all
dryer is all one.
Yeah.
And his TV his refrigerator has a TV on it. So if I ring the doorbell at his door, I'm right on his TV on the refrigerator. I can't believe it.
Connect-
This
it
guy has
connected already.
everything.
So the link is on the agenda. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
if you go to last night's city council meeting, you download it, and then the report on it, on there, it has a link, department.
Yep.
Just click on that link without having to search.
It's too difficult for
for people
respectfully.
to, right.
Respectfully.
Yep.
I'm not going to go there. I don't have a kiddo I need to get free crackers for the summer. I don't have that. I
Right.
don't need that.
Yeah.
But for the audience that's out there,
Right.
the city's providing a fantastic service.
Yes, agreed.
And you have to go on the website to register for it.
Right.
And it's difficult to navigate the website. And that's
Right.
why I'm suggesting at a
Yes.
city council meeting,
Yeah.
what are the keywords you can put in the search engine that the
Right.
city has on their website to
If-
bring you right there?
You go to the city homepage, there's a magnifying glass on the
Yeah,
top
that's the
right.
search engine,
Okay, you just type the word that you're talking about, department, you're talking
Recreation.
about recreation, right? Just
Yep,
recreation
yep, yep.
department, and then it will take you there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the easiest way to do.
Good thinking. Thank
Yes.
you.
Is there any cost for these programs, these summer programs?
No, it's a free program,
free.
and then at the end they talked about teaching youngster to be a lifeguard, But if you decided not to work for the city of Lowell, you pay $150 fee for the training you receive from the city of Lowell. Lifeguard is really high demand in other cities and towns that offer pools services, and then they can probably get better pay or more pay. Some other, community like Lexington, Concord, they're
Well, I was a
wealthy
lifeguard at
community.
Walden Pond.
Yeah, see?
You were?
See? Yeah.
Wow,
Whatever.
Linda.
For 3 years.
Speaking of that, Molly's fish, they're missing at that
Oh,
pond.
Molly
right?
Fish,
They
yes.
never find her body, do they?
No, no.
Right. So now
Well, Walden
mention-
Pond's, actually, it
It's
was a
a
very
beautiful-
difficult pond because back then we had a cement dock that went out. But you go out to almost your waist and there's a 4-foot drop.
Wow.
goodness.
So
Yes.
pulled a lot of
Wow.
people out.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful pond.
It is a lovely pond.
Yeah.
They never, I don't know now what they've done with it, but it was there's a wonderful trail around the pond where Thoreau lived.
Right.
And they never had any motorboats. You could just, a small motor to fish.
Okay.
It was just fishing.
Yes, same thing in Andover Reservoir.
Yes.
They have, that you're allowed to fish there, but you only have a motorboat, to
Going to
put
a
out.
big fishing pond right now.
Fishing.
It's on the City of Lowell's website.
Okay, right there.
We're
Yeah.
going to search.
Yes, sir,
and
right
we're-
there.
And what are we going to search for?
Recreation.
Recreation, just put recreation.
Lowell Recreation Department
There it is,
calendar.
Yeah, right there.
down there. Calendar, see?
You want
I
the
want to-
calendar?
There it is.
Yeah,
There we
there
go.
it is, right
Alrighty,
there.
We'll go to the calendar.
So now, thank you,
Let's see how
John,
good it is.
Yes.
for this,
We go-
on the
the
screen.
calendar.
See, the top one on the first
Go to
one.
this guy?
Yeah, right
Yep.
there.
Alrighty.
So thank you for doing this because this is a really good service for all of you out
That's
there.
And we get to
And the
this
good
page
weather's
and it
coming.
And then
doesn't-
scroll it down. You can enlarge the
Doesn't
screen.
scroll.
Yeah.
Doesn't scroll. So
Doesn't
let me
scroll?
try to minimize the screen a little bit. No links come up.
Look at
Can't
how-
scroll off of this page.
Oh, my goodness.
John run into a lot of problem, right? So,
Your phone becomes a tablet. It's amazing.
yes, you open it up,
Jeez.
you become a tablet.
I think it's
So,
a surfboard,
We're going
too,
to move
for
back to the
God's
show.
sakes.
Maybe when the city gets to work at around 9 o'clock, it'll start working.
Oh, my goodness.
You're bad, John.
Well, that's why I say, because you have this wonderful service, and the consumer goes on the website, and boom, you
You're right.
can't follow through.
Well, see, now they'll
And while
follow
we
through
have
with
two city
this,
councilors here right now,
and they'll make sure it's more accessible now, won't you?
Oh, my goodness.
So even Rita and I will be able to maneuver it.
yeah, so
When
it's just.
when
it's one
Paul's
thing
done
we-
over there,
we
he'll,
can- As Bernie Lynch put in my year long, we can always do better. We can always do better. So that's okay.
Right.
Well, later on, it'll get working later on today, I'm sure.
but it's good to start, people are saying, well, it's only April. Now is when you should start thinking about it.
Right.
And the kids are on vacation. Did they have anything in the recreation department for this week?
For this week, we're
You know
beauty.
what? How about getting Peter Fatacanti on
Okay.
as a guest?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get me his number and I'll call
I'm
him.
certainly sure he would do that.
But the report from Recreation Department last night in February, they have a movie night. They took the kids out to AMC Theater in Tingsboro.
Oh,
They
good.
give out 100 tickets every day. So
That's right.
Really?
this
Yep.
is the time. And then they have the Princess of the Day, and that's what Rita was talking about.
Princess of the Day, where
That's
they
what
take
Reese,
the
yeah.
children and get their
Nails
nails
and
done.
hair
And
done.
that if you show up with your costume on, like your
Yeah.
princess dress.
Yes.
I don't have one, but I wish I was like 6 years
That's
old.
what,
That'd be
right,
beautiful.
That's what Rita was talking about. Her
I
day.
love that
The
idea.
hair,
And then they have the tea with the
yeah,
teas
they
and all
have
that.
the
So
kit.
this is during
Nice.
They give
during
them
the
a
February.
kit of,
yeah. Yeah.
So they
for
have something
themselves.
for this week.
Yes.
Yeah,
they
it's
have
beautiful.
that. So it's in the package that Rita
But see,
has
the
it.
thing is,
It's in the package that John McDonough couldn't pull up because I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
You know, you went
Yeah.
But it's
into
in
the
this
calendar.
pile. It's-
We're
I
done-
know.
We're done with the webpage. We're done.
I know, I don't know.
It's in
We
this
go back
pile.
if you want to.
No, I'm saying that it's in that page that we couldn't pull up for some reason.
We had the agenda yesterday.
Okay. Well, at least I see, I didn't know you had programs on the
Yeah,
weekday.
well,
During the school break.
and they
we
even have
that.
programs for adults, didn't they?
Yes,
Have
they do.
dancing and Zumba and this
Yep,
and
in the park and stuff like
all
that.
kind of
so,
things, yeah.
We're having concerts this summer at Ironwood Park, which is the old golf course. So they're going to be open concerts there.
Yeah.
I know of at least two of them. One's in June, one's in July. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So I know Dunstable always has them in the summer, and I think Pepperell does as well. And so the towns tend to do that. And so when it's hot and you want to get out of the city, you can come to the towns and see a concert.
we
I'll
also-
get Allison on from Recreation.
Speaking about events, we had Chris Porter, Porter Production LLC. He came and talked about his Town in the City Festival that's taken place, and that's this weekend as
Yes,
well.
this weekend.
Town in the City. So we have things
And
going
where is
on
that?
all the time. It's downtown.
Downtown,
And there's, I'm sure if you looked up the website Town in the City with Chris Porter, you'll certainly be able to find that. But of course, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it here, but
Maneuver it.
yeah.
Well, it would be good to get, like whatever he's doing and put it together with the art.
I'll find the information about Peter Fataconti.
Yes,
and
please do,
Maybe
'cause
you
I-
could get him on.
I will,
He
I'd
was
gladly
so
have him on.
interesting. You can't even believe it.
Because I think that's very important with,
Yeah.
particularly I know I'm supposed to be watching.
We're not trying to hide anything, but,
No.
if people don't know,
How
that's
can they
sad.
participate?
They can't participate if they don't know, so we're
And I-
going to spread the word through this station here.
I
through your
think that
program.
people want to start getting the children out as well.
That's
And
right.
I know that you've got a very active baseball.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Group.
That's opening too, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
we're gonna have a parade.
Yeah.
Of the baseball teams?
Yes,
the team.
like we
that's
did
from,
last year.
Songas Arena
Yeah.
to the City Hall.
See, now,
And then they have-
well, let me know when that's going to be.
I will. I'll let you know all that.
Because all of those things, we need to get the kids out, get them active, get them,
Give them
participating.
exercise and,
Well, and they learn about team participation.
yes, team
And how to work
spirit and-
together.
Yes.
Yes.
And follow orders.
That's right. They
And they
learn
don't
a
even
lot.
realize
They
they're learning
don't.
it.
Yes,
They're learning
yeah.
it and they don't even realize it, and they're learning how to get along with each other, teamwork, cooperation, yeah.
Get the competition between the different neighborhoods.
That's
I know
right.
that happened. I know Dan was in, he's pretty involved with it.
Yes, he is.
And Mike Dillon, I think, was involved.
Yeah,
some of
Matt
that.
LaLash is very involved with it. Ryan Rourke.
Right.
They're very involved
Yes.
with all these sports.
So it's kind of any of them that want to come on and talk about it, by the way.
Matt.
Yeah.
But very happy to have them on.
Yeah, that'd be
And
nice.
get, because the more we can encourage the kids, and I know when we were growing up
Right.
they had a lot of that. You had
Okay.
the different neighborhoods. You had Centerville and Pawtuckaville and the Highlands and Belvedere, and they all had baseball teams, and they competed against each other. And it's a good thing. It's a healthy thing, and let's try to get this next generation so that they're not so angry with each other. My goodness gracious, what is the anger going on?
Yeah.
I
It's just,
don't understand.
to me, it's sometimes it has to be with how the popular video games, like
I agree with you.
all of that is it promoting violence. It seems like you play the game, like something duty, and you shoot each other. You kind of all that. And
But then they get back
numb.
up again, and they think that,
Yeah.
if they shoot you, you
Yeah,
get back up.
yeah.
No, you can't.
And it
The real
becomes a
issue
numb.
is digital addiction. Like we ignore mental illness, we are ignoring our children's digital addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they haven't had any, they have alternatives, but at least you've got them now.
Yeah.
No,
The phones are addictive. It's like cigarettes. The cigarette companies, this is my takeaway, I'm not saying there's any facts here. My takeaway from the cigarette companies, they made the cigarettes addictive. They put
yes, they
chemicals
did.
in the cigarettes that made them addictive. The telephone that you have has addicting features in it that addict you or a child to continuously use the phone. It's addicting, and it
And
should
gambling is addicting too. And do you know that they have a certain office in the gambling casinos and things that they'll accept your,
EBT.
no, yeah, they'll accept your mortgage, they'll accept your deed to your house because you just lost all your money in it's frightening.
It's a preventable thing. They're regulated by our federal government. The likes of Lori Trahan, Elizabeth Warren, and Ed Markey just look the other way. Why can you text on your phone when it's moving over 10 miles an hour? Why does texting still work? It shouldn't work if it's moving over 10 miles an hour.
Well, because I could be sitting as a passenger in a car.
Look out the window. Too many people, I get too
I
many
look at the scenery,
I
I
get
don't,
too many customers every year that were killed by a text.
Yes, that is frightening. Well, you shouldn't be driving.
That's
So look out the
horrible.
window.
Yes,
people do
look
it.
at the scenery, I love it.
Well, I know,
Look out the
you
window.
go, isn't it amazing you're driving down the highway and you see people texting?
I can't stand it, that's
Right.
frightening.
Yeah.
Distracted
That's why
driving.
your phone should not work if it's moving over
I
10
think
miles
that's
an
what
hour.
I did.
That'd be a
John.
great idea, yes.
Tell Lori Trahan, and this is what Lori will do. Oh, it's Rita Mercier. Lori, can you do something about the cell phones? Just a second, just a second. Well, say that again, Rita. What do you want me to do? That's
Well,
what's
I'm
gonna
not
happen.
saying
Ed
that she
Markey,
does
Elizabeth
that.
Warren, they don't want to hear it.
Well, I'm not saying
then-
that.
So moving on to more pleasurable topics.
Okay.
We're trying.
If I could just tell the viewer about the activities during the rest of the month of April. This is according to the city cultural affair.
okay.
Yes. April 23rd, National Park and Lowell Public School are hosting one of their playcation activities on JFK Plaza from 1 to 12:30. Sorry, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And then April 24, annual Take Back the Night rally begin at 6 p.m. State auditor will be attending. And then April 26, Low Humane 5K 9 to 2 p.m. begins at the Humane Society, and then Armenian flag raising at 10:30 on April 26 at the City Hall, and followed by Dominican Republic Vigil at 1:30 at the City Hall, and Low Youth Baseball opening celebration, Shed Park procession begin around 2:30 p.m. from Knapp Avenue. So Knapp Avenue.
Knapp Avenue is a side of Shed Park off of Rogers Street.
Right.
Oh, that little street?
Yeah, that's Knapp Avenue on the side of Shed Park
And then
off of Rogers Street.
And where are they going to?
It's according to the case is that Low Youth Baseball opening celebration. I don't think it's a parade, right? It's just an opening kickoff for them.
Yeah.
But then the parade will be later in the week. So it will be in the Shed Park. Procession begin around 2:30 from Knapp Avenue to Shed Park, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
So and then
Wow, that's a pretty good, okay.
yeah. So. But then the one that Rita and I will participate is Sangha Center
Serena
all the
to
way to the
City
City
Hall,
Hall.
steps of
and there will
City
be
Hall.
some music and all of that.
Oh, that sounds-
Yeah,
and
then
when is that?
barbecues and everything like that. And I'm trying to find a date to tell you.
While
and then
Paul's working on that, I got 2 text messages. Kids are nowadays not taught to be respectful and have manners. And the next text we have says, we all grew up with military fathers who held us accountable for our actions.
right.
Good point.
My
Right.
father would make that look, and I knew that I couldn't do what I
Be in
wanted to
trouble.
do. Just
And
that
then-
look was
We
enough to
grew up
scare
in
you.
households that had both our birth parents lived there.
Right, right.
And that's half
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
of America today.
Right.
Both birth parents don't live in the house.
Right.
Well, I was saying earlier today, I think off air, that I'm a cashier up at Walgreens, and a kid threw a banana and hit me in the head.
Yeah,
Everybody,
imagine that.
they said, "Oh my gosh!" I mean, I'm glad I wasn't looking up because I would have gotten in the eye.
Eyes, yeah.
Rita,
And
you're
the-
leaving 7:30, you're staying till late?
Well, I don't have to go, I'm waiting to go to the senior center to vote. I don't have to go to work till
Oh, see,
after that.
That's
Okay.
good.
For the board of directors.
Wow, it's
for the
7:20 already.
Friends.
Okay.
McD and I are on the ballot.
So, Paul, now April is Cambodia Awareness Month. Did you say?
Yes, the whole month of April, that's Cambodian Awareness Month, and then the event, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but it's starting the first week and run through. We had flag raising on Monday the 12th, and then on Thursday we have the annual, the 50th anniversary of the fall of Cambodia, the vigil at the City Hall, at the monument, and then the whole weekend, Saturday we have a parade from CMAA to Clemente Pineland Park, all day that, and then the music, and then.
Must be a beautiful day, too.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and in
Is that
addition,
12:30? What time is that on Saturday?
Saturday we start at 12:30. Yes.
12:30, yeah.
What's
But
our
it's,
parade?
already passed. It's past Saturday, not.
Oh, it
not
was
coming.
already- oh.
Yes. It's in the 19. It's the 19 that was.
So you don't have anything this
No, we
this
have
Saturday?
event at Westner.
Look at the mic.
What? Pardon me?
Looking at the mic.
The mic.
So what is
So-
on this Saturday?
This Saturday, it pretty much is done. They have last event at Westner.
Because I saw the parade last week on School Street.
Yes,
Oh, I
School
thought
Street.
it was
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. No, we had on the 19th the parade, and that's when I mentioned that while we celebrated the staff at the both city department, Liz Almonds and her staff were there talking about the project that is underway and the city, the coming measures, all the big project that happening and a big project that is in the pipeline. They all work during Saturday, and the other is a bookmobile. So I had opportunity to go over to say hello, and the gentleman told me that he had opened register a few people. They check out the books and everything through the book mobile, and we all very proud as a councilor to support that because it's so critical. And book mobile have been really instrumental in going to different neighborhood at various events, and kids can check out the book and
That's
open,
good.
Register and then get the card and check out the book there. So instead of come to the library come to you through the book mobile. So
Yeah, that's good. That's a
really,
good thing.
really important.
I'm going to grab the microphone, do the announcements.
Yeah.
Your microphones still work, so whatever you say, the audience can hear unless you shut your microphone off. If you want an announcement on City Life, real easy thing to do, just send me a text. That's the best thing to do. Coming up this Saturday at 7 p.m., they're going to have a mass for the Pope at the Immaculate Conception Church at 7 p.m. So hope to see you over there. Moving right along.
How sad.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I did a moment of silence in darkened chamber for him yesterday.
And out in Tewksbury on April 26th, that's
That
this
looks
week.
good.
We can hear you whisper too.
That looks good.
Going to have spring fling pasta, April 26th, 3 to 6 p.m. at the Tewksbury Senior Center, 175 Chandler Street in Tewksbury. $10 is the tickets. Children under 10 are free, 50-50 raffle, all kinds of good stuff happening. Hope to see you over there at the Tewksbury Senior Center. Board, neighborhood meetings. Rita, I'm glad you're here because they tell me Belvedere is not listed here on the.
And you know what I understanding about Belvedere? They
Belvedere.
have their meetings by Zoom.
So what? It's just even easier. Anybody can go. This is all the neighborhoods that the Lowell police were aware of when they put up this placard. And there's a meeting at the Lowell Downtown Neighborhood Association this week, April 28th, in LTC's facilities. Well, Johnny Dakota just danced by there. Okay, John Dakota's having a party on April 30th. The committee to re-elect John Dakota, Wednesday, April 30th, 5:30 to 8 p.m.
Right. John, while I have John Dakota, wishing him a happy birthday. I missed it last night council
Oh, my
meeting
goodness,
because
that's not like you.
right, and then his
birthday
birthday
boy?
his birthday April 25th. So just wanna shout out to John Dakota. Happy birthday, my friend.
And he's
Sorry, I missed
he's
it last
turning
night.
82 or 42?
He is. I think he
82.
told me.
82. Okay, I got you. He looks good for 82, I'll tell you. He's sipping that embalming fluid like me. Okay, so today is April 23rd. April 23rd, we're having stuffed cabbage today at the Lowell Senior Center. The Lowell Senior Center is proud to have lunch 7 days a week.
Gee,
You just need $2. Go in the front door around 10:30. There's a gal sitting at the desk, or it's usually a gal by the name of Tara. Give you $2. If you don't have the $2, well, you can eat for free. And so be there or be square. This is every single day of the week what they're going to have.
Spanish
Sweet and sour
chicken.
kielbasa
Look at
coming up
that
on Sunday.
tomorrow. Spanish
Look
chicken.
at the kielbasa on Sunday.
What's Spanish chicken?
Well, the chicken used to speak Spanish.
I never heard of it.
Okay, if you need somebody who needs prayers, you want to call these gals out. The Monastery of St. Clair, 445 River Road in Andover. You need somebody that needs prayers, they're sick, or you need some help from God. These sisters are fantastic. Just give them a call. If they don't answer the phone, just leave them a voicemail. Tell them to pray for this person, and they'll do it. They're fantastic.
And you know what I say? Never underestimate the power of prayer.
I agree.
That's true. This gal is her name is-
Belinda, she was on my street yesterday ringing my bell.
Okay, so her name's here someplace.
Right underneath
Belinda said-
Belinda.
Duran.
Duran.
Duran, okay, there it is.
She's running for District 3, which is,
Actually, I'm having coffee with her later on today. Campaign kickoff and fundraiser Thursday, May 1st, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Long Meadow Golf Club, 165 Havel Street. That's up in Belvedere. Join us for kickoff for Belinda Duran campaign for Lowell City Council representing Belvedere. So be there or be square. Moving right along, this is pretty cool. If you have a refrigerator, or you have a lawnmower, or you have a snowblower you want to get rid of, put it in your car and drive it out to Chelmsford on Saturday, May 3rd, and $5 to $25 per item. You can load up your whole car with stuff for $60 a car. Or if you know Bobby Hoey, he's got a van. You can load up the van with the refrigerator, microwave, whatever. And look at the stuff they're going to, TV monitors, computers, whatever you want to get rid of. Bring it out to Chelmsford on May 3rd.
but do you have to live in Chelmsford to
Nope.
take part of this?
Any Tom, Dick, or Mary is welcome to come.
Wow.
And you're going to go to 230, put in your GPS thing, 234 North Road. Central Administration Office, that's where it's going to be. And I think it's a pretty cool service that they've.
That's on
Wow.
May 3rd.
Electronics. You can't get rid of electronics.
Yes, you can. Bring them to
But
Chelmsford.
yes, I know. That is
Bring them
amazing.
to Chelmsford. This poor kid, Lord rest in peace, so going to have the second annual Adrian Kimborowitz Memorial Fundraiser is Saturday, May 3rd, 6 to 11 p.m. at the Bunting Club, 449 Boylston Street in lovely Lowell, Massachusetts. This is a pretty cool thing between
Oh, this
Holy
is-
Trinity Greek Orthodox Church and
Yes.
St. Patrick's Church. There's a canal.
Yes, I attend that event.
Tell us more, Paul.
Yeah. Well, the Point of Light is at the Ecumenical Square. It's a place between St. Patrick and the Trinity, the church, the Greek church.
Yep.
It's beautiful. That's
gold dome,
the
yep.
bridge there. And then you have the lantern, and they have the music, they have performance, and they have food trucks and all of that. And then you then decorating your lantern the way you want it. So I had an opportunity to decorate it, or you want to dedicate it, and then they collect all and they float it down the canal, right? So
Very pretty.
Beautiful.
I've seen that.
Beautiful,
It
yeah.
is very pretty, yeah.
So I was able to participate, and
So I wish them
as a
good
city
weather
councilor.
day. I wish them a very good weather day.
Yeah, it's a bit cold last time that I went.
Coming up soon is a campaign kickoff party and fundraiser at Long Meadow Golf Club, 165 Havel Street. Monday, May 5th, 6 to 8 p.m. Run with Aaron Gendron. And so that's going to be on May 5th. And I got to jump back up to the first one because I got the wrong date. Where's the Pope? Come on, Pope, get up there. Okay, there's the Pope. So Pope Francis
It's
Mass.
Thursday, isn't it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
At the Immaculate Conception.
Yeah, I had misspoke. I said Saturday by mistake.
Oh.
So I just got a text from one of our viewers, and
I just happened to see it in the Boston news that they announced different parishes in the state, and I saw Immaculate Conception is
so for those
tomorrow
who
night.
don't know, Immaculate Conception, if you look on the auditorium side of the church, there's a gigantic parking lot there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can park there, and they have an elevator in the church. If you go in the ground floor,
Right.
parking lot level,
Right.
go in the door and press the button, and it'll bring you up to the main church.
Right.
And the Bishop Hennessy's saying the mass. So sorry I misspoke. It is tomorrow, Thursday.
That's so sad.
Thanks for the correction. Back
Oh,
to you
God
guys.
bless.
Back
What
to
a
you.
wonderful
One time.
Pope.
Yeah.
I knew I just had a feeling he was going to live through Easter.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Imagine how the vice president feels. I met that guy. That's the-
Amazing, huh? He was one of the last people to speak
Yep.
to him.
J.D. Vance, yep.
Well, kind of interesting.
Pretty cool. Back over to you guys.
Sounds, now, so this weekend, let's go back to this weekend.
Right.
What's happening on Lowell this weekend? I know I keep pushing
Yeah.
you're having a sculpture
Well, what's happening
in the
is
garden
the,
at the All Gallery.
yes, that's happening, as well as the Town and City Festival, the Town and the City Festival. That's happening downtown, all kind of events going on. Very interesting.
Is that
huh?
Saturday or is
I think it's the weekend.
the whole weekend?
Yeah.
And then you have the Brush Gallery has their gala at Lindsay's. Anybody that hasn't, it's very interesting. It's a lot of fun. Michael Rowley and all of them are entertaining.
Oh.
And a lot of the Dakotas,
Very
all
good.
the Dakotas are talented. Every single one of them.
They are.
Andy, Matt, yep.
Yeah, I miss
Dakota.
Andy so much. I used to love
Oh, my
him.
God. They had an
Lovely.
event not too long ago at St. Margaret's at Easter time, before Easter, and I went to it. I ran into Andy, and he said, gee, I said, I miss your son, Matt, because when he sings, I look up to see if the windows in the church are going to break, because he's unbelievable. He says, we're having an event. It's on the altar. It wasn't a mass. It was at St. Margaret's on Stevens Street, and they had a depiction of Good Friday, like Holy Thursday, Palm Sunday, everything. And they had two priests that were actually in the play, and they had all the choir standing up there, and they had a back and forth discussion about Jesus, and he says he's the Holy One, and it was very interesting. And the music, you would have closed your eyes, you would have thought you had been in heaven. It was just so remarkable. So you had the Dakotas. Andy, the father, who was a former school committee man, he was the choir master, and his son Matt was in the choir. It was just so beautiful.
Well, several of them participate. Laura Smith will be there Saturday night.
Oh, she's
We all
just-
know she's
got
terribly
a
talented.
tremendous voice.
Oh, gorgeous. So it'll
Yeah.
be very entertaining. They put on a show. So anybody that is looking for something to do Saturday night, the Brush Gallery is having, it's members, I think it's 100, and non-members are 110. But it's a meal, and it's all entertaining. Excellent entertainment. So,
Also, we have, you asked me about the weekend. I also want to mention that there will be a cleanup, the North Common cleanup. It's the 41st annual acre cleanup. It will start at North Common every year, so starting at 9 a.m. To 2 p.m. So come and join us. Thank you. Yeah.
So while I have your ear, Paul, are you running for re-election?
Yes, I am.
Rita, I know you're running, but I got to ask you the question. You didn't ask Rita.
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
With the good Lord's permission.
Yes.
Now, speaking to the mayor issue, rumor on the street,
Speaking of the mayor
Uh-oh.
issue,
mayor issue.
Yes.
Rumor on the street, you want to be the next mayor as well as Danny Rourke wants to be the next mayor. And when you ask either one, I have to get elected, I'm not even thinking about that. Rumor on the street is this, that Danny already has the 5 votes. And so, any thoughts on that? Do you want to talk about it? We'll just turn the page.
well, I don't know if he has the 5 votes, and if he does, God love him.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fine. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
I don't have to be the mayor.
So it's
And it was
it's
your
too
good
early.
friend Gary that told me that yesterday.
Oh, Gary
Yeah.
told me many things that I questioned
Gary-
whether they're true.
It's sad, when Gary speaks, you have to divide by 7.
Well,
Gary
Gary's
is-
amazing. He's one of these people who throws it against the wall, and if it sticks,
Yeah, there it
And and
is.
if it doesn't stick, he didn't say that.
I
well,
tease
we've
him
worked with
about.
Gary a long time.
I tease Gary about his show on Friday, the food show that he has on the radio station. And I get a kick out of him because they'll talk about food and he'll go, really? Really? And so,
We kicked him out of the Monday Night Dinner Club.
yeah.
Shocking.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he couldn't get, he wants to get back in, but he can't get a second.
Well, Rita and
You
I
gotta
used to
be
want to-
voted-
Do we have to be voted in?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Once you bounce, yeah, well,
Well, we
Well,
never
we
got
weren't
bounced.
it's a long story. And we have time. We had 2 hours.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Frascarelli, okay, what he does is, this was his bad habit. Let's say, for instance, we're going to go to Good Times. And he would comment, I'm not going to eat there. They get the squirrels from the cemeteries and they cook the squirrels. And they're like, always a caustic comment. And even when he came, he would, sorry if you got little kids, he'd bitch and moan about the food. If they didn't advertise on WCAP, they were no good. No good. So he said, I'm quitting. So, okay, bye-bye. He left the ship. So now he wants to come back. And I says to the group, I says, Gary, his real name's Frascarelli. Gary Frascarelli wants to come back to Monday Night Dinner Club. And so I make a motion, we bring him back. He couldn't get a second.
Really?
12 people sitting there.
Really?
So now, if there's one member of the group who detests him, and the only time he can come is when that
This person
is
isn't
not
there.
coming.
I know who you mean.
And so
That's all right.
It doesn't. No, we'll leave the names out of it because
Yeah.
there's no need.
Charles and
But that's Gary. Divide by
What about Charles? Is Charles on the team anymore?
Charles evaporated.
And what about Rich?
Rich, he
Richard.
still comes. Poor Rich. His health is not. He lost half his toes. He's had real
Really?
health-
Oh, God bless him.
Yeah,
real
he's a
health
nice
hiccup.
man. I liked Rich.
And so he's having a real health hiccup, and he just came back from rehab, and he came to my dinner club last week for the first time in a long time. So
Oh.
Well, I wish him good health.
I do too.
It's always been an interesting group.
Yeah, Linda and I were part of the Monday night dinner group.
And then you decided not to be. So these things happen.
Well-
We move on. It's been
Martha
around
and
for
Cliff still involved?
14 years.
Martha and Cliffy still involved? Oh,
Oh, see, the old gang, the
Yeah.
old original.
There's about 18 people in
Wow.
there now. So.
remember the father from St. Anthony's?
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
Father
you.
Hughes, he was great.
Father Hughes.
Hughes.
He was
What a
good
great guy.
Loved having that guy.
Fascinating man.
Oh, he
Nice
could-
man.
What a wonderful storyteller he was.
Yes, well, if you see him, please
Father
tell him
Hughes.
we were asking for him because
Yeah.
he was just so.
I think he's down in Stoneham. He works at some hospital.
Yes, he would
I'd
have.
love
He's-
to see
he's the
him.
That's
priest
the
for the
sad
hospital.
part about it. They have to go where the
Where they
church
say.
tells them to go.
good guy.
They assign them somewhere else.
Good guy.
That's sad.
But I know. Remember one time we went to dinner there
Yeah.
at the rectory.
Yes,
They-
we did.
Yeah.
Remember that?
It was
Yeah.
fabulous.
The
dinner.
rectory, yep.
It was beautiful. It was amazing, gorgeous inside.
I went to dinner with the priests at the shrine not too long ago.
Where'd you guys go?
There were 5 priests there.
In the rectory did you go, or?
In the rectory,
Oh,
yes. It was very nice.
How was the food?
Very nice.
Okay.
Yep. I
See,
brought
we
a
need all the help we can
cake.
get.
See?
So, Anyways,
When it's food, I don't pass it up. But anyway, that's good.
have you enjoyed being now you're vice mayor?
Yes.
Being a vice mayor, it's a great opportunity and it's a privilege because when the mayor can't make it like today and every other event, so I have to go like at 10 o'clock. I have to go to UMass Lowell. It's a Arbor Day week, and then the UMass Lowell has 2 days event. Planting tree on Wilder Street, which is in my district. So I will be there on behalf of Mayor Rourke at 10 a.m. And then I have to fly back to the City Hall with a meeting with with Parker Foundation. The president of the Parker Foundation wants to meet with the manager to talk about how the foundation can be helpful and work with the city to promote. Parker Foundation had been generous in supporting various activity in the community. So,
Coming
that's
from the
why-
audience, Bown is the best cashier in the area.
In the area.
So, Paul, on the vice mayor thing, I have
you.
always felt that the vice mayor is misnamed. I think the vice mayor should be called the president of the city council. Because you got the mayor
Right.
and you have the president of the city council. And who's coming? The vice mayor? Well, there's the mayor. But if you say the president of the city council is coming.
I like that.
That's a good idea.
I like that,
That's
John.
very nice.
So I think that should be the nickname, the president of the city council.
Because this man is not full of vice. He's wonderful. And he attends everything, whether he's, taken over for the mayor or not, you're
Right.
everywhere.
Yeah,
So I
Well,
appreciate
you
your
would know because
dedication.
you do as well. The two of you, I
Yeah.
see whenever I'm following all in the events. You're both there all the time.
I
Now,
try. That's my mentor.
the coalition with the
Rita has
university.
a body double. That's why she
Yes,
goes to school
yeah.
differently.
You've got a lot coming up in Lowell with the university, right?
Right.
That project.
Right.
Do you want to just
Link
Yeah.
project. The link is stand for Low Innovative Corridor Network Link, LINC. It's a project that partners try to create all these with companies. It is a blueprint put together by a company in various universities throughout the country, and UMass Lowell was picked to be one of this project. And then we had a grand opening with a company to start the Link project. This past, I believe it's Wednesday last week. Draper. Draper is a company that produce robotic and all that to support our military. So they show they have a grand opening at the Wonderland set. That's where their headquarters. And then the project will then continue to build out the East Campus all the way, the park, the Lacho Park, all the way up there area, and then where the housing Perkins, that's going to be about 200 or 400 housing unit for the student who graduated, but they want to stay in Lowell. And Draper will be a company, one of many companies that will be signed on to work on this Link project. So all these students, whether they learn with Draper or another company, come and do AI, artificial intelligence, and do all other high tech that is part of this Link project. The students have an opportunity to continue working after being as an intern with companies such as Draper. So then they choose to stay. There will be more housing that will be for them to stay. So it's going to be a big project, and Draper starting out in Wonderland set, all the 3 floors, and we had a tour. The Lieutenant Governor was here, and Marty Meehan is the president. Of course, he was there and talked about and excited. And Mayor Rourke and I was there, and to welcome the Draper.
They had
into
food,
the
too.
But they have good food, yes. They have,
Because Evelyn Thorin, the gal who does the show Thursday, her husband,
yeah,
that's where he works, Draper Labs.
yeah,
And he was there, and he's a big wheel over there.
yeah.
I think it's an
Dr. Glenn
amazing
Thorin.
coalition because you're bringing,
Yes.
finally, you're seeing the university get involved with the community to they educate all these students and then they go off to some other community and these companies, to bring the companies
Yes.
in with the university
Right.
and to come up with the housing. It's
Right.
just a great concept.
I'm going to
Yes.
adapt this statement. When the whole day without a nap, you say, I pulled an all-dayer.
Oh,
I'm a nap guy.
okay,
Oh,
Sometimes I pull an all-dayer. I like that.
right, yeah.
Thank you for your comment.
So the project itself it's a partnership along with the UMass Lowell and then the city of Lowell as well. And then what's gonna happen is that it producing a lot of quality job because the Draper learned this way back, when talked about the idea of bringing technologies, bring people to your factory, to your lab. But now the motto is that now we bring the lab to the university because this high-tech company need really experienced workforce. And
Yes.
UMass Lowell being the research university providing that workforce for companies such as Draper, and that's why the student who major in this field will have opportunity to work, co-op, work as a co-op with these company. They learn all of these skills and a high pay skill and high demand, so they rather stay with the company that they've been, internship with. So now they need a place to live, and UMass Lowell want to provide that, a reasonable housing unit for these talented workforce. So Draper is one of the company who latch onto UMass Lowell to tap onto the skill and talented student who went through the process. Yeah.
I just love this. I don't know who in the city spearheaded this, but it's just the whole idea.
It's
of,
all Marty Means and with Chancellor Chen, they all together, and then they work with the city.
That's
and
excellent.
The city say,
Yeah.
we love, because the city provided infrastructure to make sure that it's happening,
Well,
it's accommodating, so.
Mark Ratman says, good morning, everyone. Great show. Thank you for all the informative conversation.
Morning, Mark. Mark
Good
from
morning, Mark.
Oz. Nice to
Land
know.
of Oz.
Thank
That's
you.
Tewksbury, yep.
So those are the Link project, and it's the next few years, Draper just using one Lancet as a launching pad, and eventually they're gonna build their own facility, the high-tech facility in the city of Lowell.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that
it-
amazing?
It is. I think that's the type of thing that spearheads and
Yes.
people get, it will attract
And
the
then it's
future.
snowballing
Yes.
after that. That's my hope that the Draper, because they are well respected, they've been around for many years providing all these technology to our militaries and.
And it will generate a lot of money for the city of Lowell as
Exactly.
well.
And-
It's not like it's
and
going to be a
jobs.
nonprofit
Right,
type thing.
exactly, yeah.
We're
Right.
going to get a lot of money in the city.
I just love it. Again, it's you're bringing something to the community and from the towns. I mean, it's nice to know that it's going to be there.
John, if you have a computer, if you can
Yeah, I got a
type.
computer over here.
Right, type the word link, LINC, and then you pull it up onto the screen so our viewer can see what we are talking about and be excited as I am and Rita about
Yeah.
excited and
Just go to
and
Google and
Linda.
write the word link.
Yeah, just type
All
out
right.
www.
And this is going to coincide with the potential of the UN.
That you and
Proposal.
yeah, for front runner city, and that will be another component that will be really.
It's making me go
put-
to
No,
LinkedIn.
it's
that LIC, LIC,
I think I'd put all capitals,
LIC,
and
LINC, yeah.
LINC.
No, you, LI,
And
That's why we do. Oh, you forgot the N in the middle. Yeah.
And-
What do you want me to type up
and
there, kid?
put it in
L-I-N,
there.
put it
Put it in there.
Put it in.
There you go.
The link.
Let's see,
There
link
you
low.
go.
There you
There
go.
it
Click
is.
on that link low. Now. There we go.
Yeah, the
Look
heart
at the
of,
high screen.
Yeah.
This is
Look at that.
the
I
heart
just,
This
I
is
just
beautiful.
love that.
yes. You
This
see,
whole
that's a
area.
future project, right?
Yeah.
So I mentioned to Chancellor, Chancellor, do you see the yellow line that you have there? Can you create a monorail just like Disney World? You know, people can travel
Yeah,
from that.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Paul.
And that will be.
I would go along with that, but the free buses are riding empty. We
I
have
know.
free bus rides until
But-
September, and nobody's riding the bus.
But
Sad.
Yeah, people do not know about that much. I mentioned to somebody say, really? I didn't know that.
But I mean, I travel around the city, and I never take the bus. The bus stop's right in front of my house. Terrible.
Yeah. So,
But it's a new generation, John.
right.
But still, how do we should consider utilizing the bus, bicycle, walking.
Well,
Right.
you know,
Good weather
my
here.
answer to that would be to
If-
the governor.
Right.
That says she wants all the bloody housing around the.
Linda, I love you to pieces, but the government is here.
could-
The government is here for self-preservation. The most important thing to the government is that we survive. We don't care about the general public. We don't care about the taxpayer. We must survive. So look at the government to solve your problems. It ain't gonna happen. That's just
Can-
my personal
can you-
opinion.
John, look what they're
Cynical
doing.
as
They're
sounds.
starting without, that it's really not the government. It's Draper and the university. that-
Right. If you could go back to that, and there's other program that not just.
Okay. What would you like to do here?
You see the click on the tab on the top. Tell people about the project to the right too. Say projects. Right. There we go.
Project development?
Yes, the project.
Okay.
Click on that so
Here
we
we go.
see what the project development is, and then is that a way to scroll down to see? You see that's you
I
see
can
the
see
map of
Lowell.
the United States. Yes. See all this idea is not first time. It's been successfully in other part of the country, and now UMass Lowell being one of about 12 university throughout the country that implement this. There should be other information, John, about various entity,
Not that I'm
company. Go back to the top. Yeah. All right. Go back to home. Yeah. And on the top, next one, next tile, say why.
Why
Yep.
Lowell?
Yep. Click on that. Okay. So if you let.
There's the new high school.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay,
all
cool.
Oh,
include
okay.
in that in corridors there. That's the larger part.
That's a nice shot, because you got the
Yeah.
ballpark.
That is a lovely shot.
Yeah. So, is there any other slide that we can go? Yeah, there we go. Now, home to top tier research university. So access to skill workforce pipeline. If you scroll down further, and then you talked about opportunities. See, these are the company. John,
Oh,
going
okay,
down.
I see what you're
so
going
yeah,
with.
now I want
Oh,
to
I
show
see,
these
yeah.
are the company that will be part of the link project here. So this is a really exciting time for the city of Lowell, and then and it's gonna, like Rita said, generating a lot of revenue, good job, and the housing costs, and then this is explaining all the good things in the city of Lowell, you know, the vibrant culture and history, things like that, and
The Connecticut Sculpture race, that's a cool picture.
yeah, that's the end. And as you go back up, you go to the next tab on the slide to show. Yep.
Closer
there we go.
look.
Closer look. That's what it is. Yep. This is the corridor. This is the link project.
You just
That's
shut your
gonna
microphone
be-
off.
Yeah, that kind of be.
Oh, your mic's
Oh.
off.
This is the rendering of the UMass Lowell. The link whole corridor will be developed into this kind. And if you scroll down to the bottom, John, you see a closer look at that map. I want you to focus on that map. Is that a way you can click on the map, John? And it has number to show people.
No,
Now, okay.
I don't, I'll keep trying the different buttons.
Right, you
but-
see it tells you all these
The
phases.
house thing, I can see, yeah.
Yeah, all these phases, 1, 2, phase 0, that's what we had at the Warner Lancet opening of Draper. It's called phase 0, and then the phase 1, Link and the university collaboration, and then number 3, number 4. So all of that is number of various stages of this project that's going to be happening. It's all the way to the Latcher Park and to the Aiken Bridge, and then come back onto Perkins Street, and that will be, so this is
2,000
What?
permanent jobs.
right.
And then when
John,
you say 1,300 construction jobs to put this together,
right.
people will be employed. It's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Plus
Up to
that-
6 million in tax revenue
Right,
for the
6
city.
million,
We
yep.
talked about that.
That's right.
And then 1.2 million of mixed-use space. That means living area, 490 plus housing unit that was talking about, smart development, refresh the infrastructure, and that's what
Yep,
the city
yep.
is focused on. 3.7 billion, so
That's beautiful. Look at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
So
I
those
think the
are-
fact that you have, I think this was probably instrumental and had a big influence in the fact that the UN is interested in coming to Lowell, because this is already in the works.
Right.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. So that's what I want our viewer to see, what is happening in the city of Lowell. The far right picture, John. Do you see that? There's
There is
a
the
nice
star
guy
of the
next
show
to
right
there.
there. Look at
There
that
they
guy.
go.
Look at that guy right there.
Right. Yeah. Who is that guy? That's the vice mayor there, and the mayor's in the back. Forget about him.
Yeah.
Oh, I see him.
There's Danny in the back.
Then in the back, yeah. So.
Good thing he's tall. You wouldn't
There's
have him
Chicken
involved
Man.
at all.
There's Chicken Man. He skipped the meeting last night. Where was Tara last night at the meeting?
But
Talking about that House bill,
Oh.
that House bill that we all voted to send a letter to scratch it.
Where was Chicken Man?
Oh, he voted
Paul
against
loves
it.
housing. Wait,
Yeah,
Paul
no.
and I are at odds about parking.
no. Yes.
But-
We were on
parking
opposite
here.
I want
pages
housing
here.
too. I want more neighbors, but I just demand they have to have a place to park.
Yeah.
And Paul and I disagree on that, and that's okay.
Right, we agree to disagree, right, John?
Yeah, that's right. We don't
And,
always agree, but we
right,
are still
we are
friends.
friends,
We
yeah.
are my little
And
darling.
here, John, if I could step back to last night, and when I came to America, I got a lot involved with the church. I volunteered for the church. We collected clothing, household item, food, and I will give it to newly arrival Southeast Asian refugee. And Long Beach will be largely Cambodian, so I do that. And when I came to Massachusetts, I also connected with the church. That's my passion to collecting for the needies, right? And the bill that we talked about last night, it provided an option. So if the Catholic Church or any church that closed down the building, like we had one here, not too far from here, and then instead of demolish it due to the neglect, maybe convert that into a livable space. It's an option. It's not a requirement. And oftentimes people thought, oh, it's gonna make the church do this and that. No, it's an option if the church want to do it, because the church already do a lot. For example, Elliott Presbyterian Church, they're providing a lot already, but that church
They're
do
also
not.
perpetuating the homeless.
But God said to take care of the needy. So these are the needy, and I understand the needy
But they're
has
not
some
completing-
issues.
They're not completing the project.
Well,
They're
because
just pacifying them.
of funding, John, they do not have enough money, but everything, the staff are volunteer. They don't have.
Respectfully, Paul, they don't have
get-
an end game.
Well, that's.
But that's the poor, and the poor is with us since Jesus' time, right? The poor was with us since Jesus' time. So
Well, I
now
often
you
will
talked
sit
about.
here, when we're lucky enough to have elected officials like yourselves visit the show. When I have somebody from the school
Oh,
department, I always insist we have to teach our kids personal finance. And the last two texts today, Kratman's right, City Life rocks. As Frescarelli says, The
Yeah.
government doesn't produce widgets, only bigger government. That's from DW. And I want to thank you guys for getting up extra early because we're running out of time. Got 30
Oh,
seconds.
we're done.
30 seconds.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you both for getting up and coming in.
Right.
I enjoy having you both.
I cannot miss. I pulled in. I saw Rita's car. I said, "Oh, I'm in heaven with
Oh,
two of
my
my
baby.
my beautiful."
Oh, my God. My God. He's my angel.
Yeah, if
Well-
I'm in good company with my two
Thank
favorite
you.
people, Rita
Well,
and
keep
Linda.
doing what you're
Yeah.
doing. I know you,
Right.
you go to everything, the both of you, and,
Yeah.
and maybe somebody else, maybe we'll see you all downtown at something
Right.
today, this weekend.
Yeah.
So
Goodbye,
It's gonna be a
kids.
good weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you
Have
for
a good
watching.
weekend, everyone. Be safe.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Be
you.
safe.